Hi, this is Marcia Brubeck of marciabrubeck.com. I'm here to talk to you today about ways in which you can stop fighting so much with people you care about so that you can enjoy each other more and have a more loving relationship overall. And what I want to talk to you about today is how to communicate about what really matters. Most of the time when people fight with each other, they fight about some situation, or at least that's how it looks from the outside. Somebody wants to say how it really happened, and the other person has a different view of how it really happened. Or somebody wants to argue that he's right and you're wrong, or you want to argue that you're right and he's wrong. There are all kinds of different versions of this. But it's important to remember that for any situation that you're talking about, there are as many different versions of it as there are people looking at the situation. There's a famous movie called Rashomon that was made about this. It's a Japanese movie by a very famous film director whose name I can never quite remember. But it shows a particular incident that was seen by, I think, 6 people, and you see each of 6 different versions. And every time you see a new version, you know this has to really be the way it happened, because it's just so plausible. It's absolutely clear that this is the truth. And then you go on to the next version and you feel the same way about that. And this is really the point of the movie, that God alone knows what truly happened. And that's the only point of view that is truly omniscient. When you're talking about ordinary people, you have to understand that all of us see from a different vantage point, and we see on the basis of our different experiences in our lives. That is, we see with our understanding of our lives. We have attitudes that we've carried around with us and refined ever since childhood, and that influences how we see things and how we hear them. So then you may ask, well, okay, so what do I do when I get into a fight with somebody? And the answer is that you need to look for the underlying feelings, because the argument is never really about the actual situation. It's about something that's going on underneath it. That is, the reason why the situation matters. So let's say that you're a guy and your wife has been going through your cell phone and has been looking up your text messages online. And she's concerned about the number of calls you made to a female coworker. So is she really concerned about the number of calls? What is going on here? Well, probably what's going on here is that she's jealous, or she's suspicious, or she thinks that she may not be holding your attention. She may feel that she is not good enough in some way, that she's not adequate from your point of view to command your full attention. So rather than argue about the identity of the phone calls, you need to say something like, you seem to be really worried that I'm cheating on you. And if that's true, how can I set your mind at ease? How can I persuade you that really all I care about is our relationship and being happy with you? And by addressing the underlying feelings, you can lay the whole matter to rest. Now, in some ways, this tends to be easier for women to do than for men, because women are typically more oriented toward relationships, whereas in our society, our American society, I'm talking about primarily, we tend to raise men to be more attuned to thoughts and statements about how things are, and logical reasoning, rational ways of looking at stuff. And it's harder for men to think in terms of underlying feelings. So for any guys who are watching this video, what you want to do is to distinguish between thoughts and feelings. If you say, I feel that you're being unfair, it's not a feeling, that's a thought. Feelings are things like shame, embarrassment, love, guilt, depression, sadness, anger. And you can't do anything about them except notice them and honor them and find an appropriate way to express them. But thoughts are things that you can actually manipulate. You can find a different way to approach something or a different way to express an idea. So it's very important to make that distinction, and it's particularly important when you're dealing with situations of conflict, because simply looking at the thoughts or simply voicing the thoughts is not going to solve the problem that the two of you have. What you need to do is to focus on the underlying feelings, and if you're not entirely sure what they are, you can always ask. So focus on the feelings, not the facts, and you will fight less, and you will be able to love more, and you will understand each other better. It's one simple tip. I have a number of communication tips, and I've put them in a book that I call Love More and Fight Less. This is available on my website. You can pay $40 for it, or you can get a copy free of charge. All you have to do to get it is go to my website and sign up. And you'll be able to download it immediately, and it will greatly improve your relationship. There are quite a number of tips in the book. You don't need to implement all of them. Any number that you can manage will greatly improve your relationship. So, what's to lose? They're all easy to understand. They're easy to apply. It doesn't take months. It should take you only a couple of days. And then you will be free to enjoy each other and the really wonderful feelings that you have for each other going forward. So visit my website and get Love More, Fight Less, and I'll see you again soon.